Morning, everybody. Welcome to the Wake and Bake podcast. It's me, Quentin. I'm a Charger fan based out of San Diego. This is Pete.
Good morning. I'm a Patriots fan in San Diego as well.
In San Diego. We talk about football on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. The NFL in general, as well as kind of deep dives into our specific favorite teams, which are the Chargers and the Patriots. So, you know, it's kind of a good overall podcast. And then, yeah, if you like the Patriots, not a bad place to be. If you like the Chargers, not a bad place to be. Get some differing opinions.
This week.
We do it while we bake and cook in the morning. So, yeah, we're working, guys. That's what's going on here.
So this week, the Tush Push lives.
The Tush Push lives. Yeah, I think that's first on the agenda, huh?
Yeah. The owners' meeting had another vote on some rules, and
Yeah.
which is good. You know.
It's always good when those owners get together. Well, no, I don't know. Not always good.
Well, not always.
I mean, you know,
I mean, it's good that
I
just
think
because one team is good at something doesn't mean you should change the rule.
agreed. I'm definitely in the camp that, like, you know, going after the Tush Push sets a very dangerous precedence of, oh, okay, so if one team gets really good at something, we're just going to fucking ban it? Like, come on.
Yeah. I mean, that precedent has already been set, unfortunately.
With what?
Most notably, back in like the early 2000s, they made pass interference more prevalent because the Patriots defensive backs were too good at getting handsy with the receivers.
What?
Yeah, you don't remember that?
I mean, I remember that, but
It's pretty similar.
you're going to give the Patriots credit for that?
I mean, I remember it happening. It was within the rules. They changed the rule. So the very good players were still very good at playing defense. They just had to do it a different way.
Yeah. Well, anyway. Yeah. I think that's a crappy precedence. You know, if there was overwhelming, like, injury data, you know, here's the thing, too. Even if a doctor's going, hey, that's a move that could be very dangerous to the ball carrier or whatever, like, don't have your quarterback do it. Like, I don't know. Like, there's risk. A team could lose a pretty valuable player. I mean, because Hurts is the one that carries the ball when they do this.
Right. He's just good at sneaking the ball.
He's damn good at the QB sneak, that fella. So, yeah, I like the Tush Push, and I think other teams, it's like, hey, if you can't beat it, join it, dude. Get good at it. What the hell?
The other like anti-argument against it was that it's not a football play.
Yeah, it's a rugby play.
It's definitely a football play, you know. Like there was a time when the forward pass was not a football play. So that's like the original football play, right?
That's
there.
exactly what I think Susie Schuster was like filling in for Rich on the Rich Eisen show.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what they brought up on that show. Was the forward pass was a play.
It was not.
That was
illegal.
Yeah, that was.
You could only carry the ball.
When it first happened, teams were going like, what the hell is this? You can't do that. Now it's the damn game, pretty much. I mean, it is a passing league. Big plays. Because it creates big splashy plays.
Yeah.
It adds an element of explosiveness that you don't get with like. That's actually a really cool point to make.
What?
The big pass. When you see that bomb going up in the air,
Yeah.
I mean, it's exhilarating.
Well, that's why that's why people call it a home run play, because home runs are the exciting part of baseball.
Yeah.
Same, you know?
I mean, but in football, that can happen any play, and when it happens, like, I mean, you hold your breath if you're into the game. Like, you're just like,
Right.
oh shit.
Well, especially watching on TV, you can't even see the receiver.
Yeah.
When you're there
All you see is the ball
when you're
in
at
the air.
the
and it's
game, when you're at the game, you see if that dude's got a step or not. But when you're watching on TV, like, you can't even see that. You just see the ball in the air and you wait for it.
Even at the game, you're still like, whoa, he's going big, you know?
Yeah.
And you just know that, like, could be a really big moment. I'm just saying that, like, kind of doesn't happen in a lot of other types of sport, actually.
I mean, it's like the breakaway in hockey or soccer.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the same as like a running back kind of breaking off into the secondary. Like, what's different is, like, you see the ball shoot up in the air, like way up in the air. And so you have this time to go, oh man, something big is coming. It's either going to be big.
Yeah.
Like, because with the running play, it just pops. And then it's like, whoa. But you don't get that preemptive little kind of, I'm saying there's like a small primer that, whoa boy, that ball is going big and high.
Right.
This could be a really big play. Where you don't get that heads up anywhere else, you know?
Yeah, with the running play, you're watching the build-up.
Yeah, you're watching it, and you could just miss it.
The running back is breaking 2 or 3 tackles.
Exactly.
En route to breaking it for 50
Exactly.
yards.
Which is what you get in hockey, you know?
Well, no, in hockey, I mean, when there's a breakdown, if you catch him on a line change, all of a sudden one guy, you know, he's on a breakaway. All he's got is the goalie to beat. And it's a split-second thing if you know, because he's going to skate that from the blue line to the goal in like less than a second or you know, whatever. So if you blink, you missed it.
I'm just saying, like, to me, that's more like a running back breaking a runoff, you know? Versus the deep ball home run. Home runs don't even, it's different because a home run just happens. And if you missed it, I'm just saying, like, there's this.
Well, no, because you see him hit it off the bat and you know it's got a shot.
Yeah, like, whoa, that one went big.
You gotta wait 2 seconds to see if it goes over the wall.
It is, yeah. It's more like the baseball home run than I think the hockey. I feel like the running back breakaway is more like a hockey breakaway. Baseball home run, yeah. You see that crack, and you're like, woo, we got a piece of that.
Yeah.
And then you get to watch the ball. So the anticipation, but the point I'm trying to make is like the anticipation of it, right? Like, that's when our juices start to flow, and like adrenaline and all that is the anticipation of something really big happening. It makes you high.
Well, that's what I mean on a hockey or soccer breakaway. You know he's got a direct path to the goal. It's going to be fast, and whether the goalie makes the save or not is
fair.
what you're waiting
That's
for.
fair. You get some lead up to it. You're like, oh, he's going to take a shot. Is he going to make it? Yeah.
But he's getting a wide open shot, and he can't think about it. He has to just go, because if he hesitates, somebody will catch him.
Yeah. I suppose the only distinction is when a QB does that, like, there's nothing that can stop him from doing that any play of the game.
Right. He could chuck it 50 yards every time.
Anytime he wants. Versus like conditions have to kind of form up for those other things to happen, you know?
Right. I mean, you could watch multiple hockey games and never see one.
Yeah. Like a proper breakaway.
Yeah. Because it really does only happen.
And then you got offsides. Like half the time offsides gets called or some shit. And you're like, God damn it. So anyway, I'm really happy that the Tush Push sticks around. I hope other teams just learn how to do it. I'd be shocked if the Chargers don't learn how to do it.
I mean, it's kind of crazy that it's going on so many years without.
There's only one team that's really good at it.
Without other teams mimicking it.
I mean,
only a few have even tried to mimic it and not really done very well. So then they stopped and like.
There's two teams that do it reasonably well. I mean, the thing about the Eagles Tush Push is they seem to be able to do it on anyone.
Yeah, they have like a 98% success
Nobody seems to be able to stop it. The Ravens and Bills, I think the Ravens do it second best in the league. And I mean, they did it to the Chargers back on their own like 10-yard line when we faced them last year, dude. On a 4th down.
Yeah.
And they just rammed it through.
And they just know that
they had Mark Andrews take the ball. They pulled Lamar on it.
So they did swap out the guys.
Yeah, they do. The Ravens do. There's no way they're going to let something happen to Lamar, you know?
When you throw as well as Jalen Hurts, you're like, yeah, the tight end can throw that well.
Yeah, that puzzles me on the Eagles side.
Why they don't switch him out.
But
it's because he benches like 500 pounds or whatever.
But Baltimore...
Or squats.
Oh, you speaking on Hurts being pumped? Yeah.
Yeah, he's like
Hurts is yoked.
Pound for pound, he's like one of the strongest.
He's built like a running back
in the league.
Hurts really is a quarterback built like a running back. He's not super tall, but if he wasn't playing quarterback, he probably would be a running back in the NFL, actually.
Yeah.
You could kind of make that argument.
He's super strong and pretty fast.
Yeah, he's
like because he runs
probably,
really well.
If that was his dedicated task,
yeah,
he probably would be a running back in the NFL. He happens to be a damn fine QB. Like him and Fields, you know? Fields is like that.
One of these days, Fields might become a damn fine QB too.
You better watch out, dude.
Hopefully not this year.
Yeah, you better watch out.
Hopefully he doesn't put it together this
year.
year.
No, I was going to say that. I mean, actually, that's a good segue. We could talk about the Jets for a hot minute. We kind of talked about it yesterday, but that wasn't on the pod. We could revisit it. Because I think I saved my point. Uh, 91 players showed up to the Jets OTAs. All 91, baby. Aaron Glenn just might be building some of that Detroit magic over there. Fields, I didn't realize this, but Fields Wilson. Fields has two of his old teammates from Fields went to Bama, didn't he?
Yes.
He's got two of his buddies. So Wilson is a teammate of his. Was a teammate. Was his pass catcher.
Garrett Wilson. I didn't know that they overlapped at
Uh-huh.
Alabama.
They did. Those two have played together before. And that's what's been showing up in OTAs. Like, that's clearly his target. Like, and Wilson's good enough that...
Well, of course it's his target. He's the best receiver on the team.
And he's the best receiver on the team. Like, so... But there's already... Like, Fields has had a few years as a pro, so he's probably a much better quarterback. And he already knows his wideout's tendencies. Like, they already have a rapport, you know?
Well, not with Fields.
Huh?
Fields didn't go to Alabama.
What?
Fields didn't go to Alabama. It was Hurts went to Alabama.
Oh, I'm talking about the Jets. No, I'm talking about the Jets and Fields and Wilson.
I don't think Fields went to Alabama. Did he?
Whatever college Fields went to, him and Wilson went to the same college. I could be wrong on the Alabama thing.
I could be wrong.
I think it was a big program. Or did he go to, were they at Ohio together?
Ohio State sounds more right.
I think Fields was at Ohio too, actually.
That's probably what it was.
So, okay. Let's just assume we're talking about Ohio here then.
Yeah.
But it's an athletic article. I was reading Jets OTAs. He's got another target there, not just the wideout Wilson. There's another playmaker there that another pass catcher. I think it's a tight end. The primary tight end there. Who's the primary tight end with the Jets? Because Stone Smart's over there too, which I love Stone Smart, former Charger. But he's not the primary.
They just drafted somebody, didn't they? I think.
Who the fuck are these people? Yeah, they drafted Mason Taylor, but
anybody they drafted this year wouldn't have gone to school with Fields. 'Cause
maybe it's I think it's Malachi Corley, who's another receiver there.
Okay.
So
He's going to bring out the best in a no-name receiver because he used to play with him.
So, but here's the point. I think the Jets could be kind of sneaky good, dude. I think they're going to be a little more feisty. They're real quiet over there. And Aaron Glenn is doing what he does. Or I think he's you know, we can't say he's going to turn that franchise into the next Detroit until he does it, but he's getting some traction. He's getting some traction. They could be a little sneaky and a little feisty this year. A little feistier than people thought they would be.
Feistier.
And I could definitely see Fields
finally putting it together.
Well, and then here's the thing too. I think I was reading about their O-line situation. I think they've got a very good O-line situation. Matter of fact, I think they took another O-lineman in the draft.
Well, they did. At the first round, the first pick was
Membo
to replace Morgan Moses, who they had last year. So, I mean, that's a one-for-one swap. Like,
yeah. So
and the rest of the O-line was good.
this should be Fields' best line.
That's true.
And they've got a really good running back duo over there, Breece Hall and Braylon Allen. I think Braylon Allen, I love Braylon Allen. Coming out of the draft last year, I was all about that dude. I was like, get that guy. Like, we got to get Braylon Allen. That was my sneaky pick. That guy is a mini Derrick Henry.
Yeah, I mean, they couldn't get them both on the field for the whole year last year.
I think Breece Hall was just playing so well. Yeah.
What? Breece Hall tore his ACL, right? Last year?
Did he?
He wasn't playing.
I feel like Breece Hall was healthy, man.
Maybe it was the season before he did it.
We need a fact checker as part of the crew here. We need one of those guys on the computer, you know?
Right. Well, other people just sit on their phone.
Sorry, everybody.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get somebody like to sit here in the corner and drink coffee and just like look up the facts and stuff for me and Pete. One of these days.
A producer, if you will.
You gotta like and subscribe though, people. Which is a pretty decent segue, actually. Talking about running backs here. Speaking of running backs, I don't think I really spoke on this. Chargers wise. I think it was the Chargers' plan in the draft to take Raheem Rocket Sanders. So the Chargers picked up this guy, Raheem Rocket Sanders, as a UDFA. And then actions speak louder than words. I'm a big fan of that. And so the Chargers, when they opened up rookie minicamp, they did something very different. Usually rookie minicamps are like all 11 on 11s and stuff like that. The Chargers just did, they did skill position group testing. Like, so all the coaches came up with skill position tests for all of the rookies to run through and do to see what they've got. Kind of like a mini combine, but Charger style. The Chargers ran their own little mini combine. The only guys that did not have to do that were the Chargers draft picks. So all the Chargers draft picks. And the reason for that was we're like, hey, we picked these guys. We've done the due diligence on these guys. We know what these guys can do. Okay? It's all these other dudes that we need to get a better look at to see what we think we get out of them.
Right.
And So they held the draft picks out of those exercises in an effort to create a more level competition field for all these other guys to get a better look at them. Because they felt like it's not fair for you to go up against these guys who we drafted. They're on the fucking team. You know what I mean?
Right.
You guys are trying to make the team. And we need to see, are you worthy of that? You know? So we want to give you the best shot possible to get the best look possible to tell us, are you a Charger or not? That's actually Harbaugh's words. So,
turn the oven back on.
Yeah. There was one UDFA that was held out of that.
And who was that?
Singular UDFA. That was Raheem Rocket Sanders.
The Rocket Man.
The Rocket Man. And the reason why is because Ortiz talked about this in his presser, is Rocket was a guy that was on the Chargers board. That's all Ortiz said about it. I want to take it a step further. I think not only was Sanders on the Chargers board, I think he was their specific target for the draft. I think the Chargers were definitely gunning for like Gray Zabel or, you know, Loveland or one of these guys. Derek Harmon, that defensive lineman. I really believe Harmon, like had he been there for the Chargers, that would have been the pick. Feel pretty strongly about that.
So the 7th round rolls around and they're like, yeah.
But Hampton was there. Yeah, Hampton was there, and they're like, okay, like it's the best running back. But I think Sanders was that late round guy that they were like, that's our back. Yeah. Like that's the guy we need to get. We know we can get. We'll reach and get him because the Chargers had like 2 5th rounds and 6 rounds. Like that was their guy. That was their diamond in the rough. I believe pretty strongly. So when he dropped to a UDFA, obviously they didn't draft him because they were like, well, we got a running back. We have other needs.
Yeah, if we aren't able to draft him, then
but when he dropped to UDFA, that was like the first fucking phone call they made. And I think they gave him a really good UDFA contract too, by the way. I'm pretty sure I saw that. Like his UDFA contract is way above average.
One of those guys, yeah.
It was way higher than UD. Like they're paying him draft pick money.
The Patriots have a couple of those guys. Like one of those guys where it's, you know,
so
pops off the page, signing bonus.
Actions speak louder than words. I think the Chargers, to them, I mean, they're like, dude, we got both our backs. We got a twofer. Nice. We didn't even see that one coming, but we are between Najee, Hampton, and Sanders, like they're like, we are fucking loaded at back. We've got 3 guys that I don't think the Chargers are going to carry a 4th running back on the roster this season. I really don't think that. Which is what they did all last season.
Right.
But with these 3 guys, like all 3 of these guys are complete backs. They can do it all. They all want touches. They should all get touches.
They don't get injured. This is the main reason they had to keep so many last year.
I mean, Najee's been healthy. That's kind of been his thing, is he's been healthy the whole time.
Yeah.
This guy just racks up games. So I see Najee getting the majority of the carries to start the season. But as the season goes on, I think Hampton will come in hard and start pushing Najee for touches.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the only reason not to push the rookie early and often is because there's always that conditioning curve from college to pro playing.
Just getting up to speed, learning how to read the holes.
Well, the speed of the game and just the length of the season.
Length of the season.
If you give a rookie 20 touches a game every game, he's going to burn out.
Yeah. I mean, you give any running back 20-plus touches almost these days.
Yeah.
In the NFL, they don't typically last the season. That's what's kind of crazy about Najee. That so yeah, just making the point. The Chargers are freaking loaded at running back, okay? Way more loaded than they ever thought they were going to be.
Yeah. Definitely more loaded than they were last year.
What's that?
Definitely more loaded than they were last year.
Yeah. I mean, we were signing remnants last year.
Yeah. Ghosts.
We signed up all the Ravens scraps.
Right.
Literally. Like they're throwaways.
Yeah. Guys who were good 3 years ago.
Yeah. And man, I feel for Dobbins. Still, nobody's talking about, like, Dobbins is injured, dude. I'm telling you. That guy's not healthy. That's why he doesn't have a job. He's not healthy. I'd be willing to bet money, like, that knee's not okay, and the teams are not okay with it.
Right. Yeah, they know. They know what's going on.
Actions speak louder than words.
I mean, especially with this year's rookie running back class, you know, like, why take an oft-injured, questionable Dobbins when they just get a new young buck rookie contract and see what that dude's got?
Yeah.
Patriots released some cool content this week.
Oh, did they?
Like a documentary movie called
what?
Called Forged in Foxborough.
What?
So if you're as a Patriots fan, it's pretty awesome. Just as a football fan, to kind of see, it's kind of half hype video for the off season.
Okay.
Half some behind the scenes process of what the team does in the off season.
Well, that's cool.
And it has the introduction of Mike Vrabel as the coach.
Is it like the Chargers when they did the all-in thing?
I think so. I didn't watch that, but I kind of heard about it.
I mean, I showed you clips from it.
Yeah, you showed me it, so I saw some of it.
Is it kind of similar?
Yeah.
That's pretty rad. I love that stuff.
So I mean, it's just about this off season that they're in the middle of, and it has Vrabel and the team go down to the Senior Bowl and the Shrine Bowl and do their scouting.
Yeah.
And then it has shots of them in the draft room and so
Cool.
They don't.
Did you see who's doing?
One of my favorite scenes was when Mike Vrabel was coaching the Texans. And he was defense.
I thought he was with the Browns as a consultant.
That was just last year, but a few years ago.
Was that before he became head coach of the Titans? Did he go?
Yeah, it was the year before he was the Titans coach.
He was the DC?
He was the DC with Bill O'Brien as the head coach.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
And
The old
there's a
O'Brien
shot of-
days.
I can't remember the dude's name, but it was one of their defensive line stars.
Yeah.
And he comes off the field. He takes himself out. He's like, I need a sub.
Really?
And Vrabel goes over to him and he's like,
You get the fuck back in.
Courtney, like, you can't come off the field.
Yeah.
We don't have the bodies for you to come off the field.
Yeah.
Like, you got to play.
Yeah.
And then, it's the whole, like,
What are you doing?
superstars don't
Yeah.
take themselves out. They
Yeah,
play
no.
the whole game. When the
No,
game,
you listen to me. I tell you when to get off the damn field, dude.
He hypes him up. He goes back in, gets a sack,
I think that's an interesting dynamic of like all the Patriots coordinators that they failed, right, as head coaches. Name one.
That
Name
succeeded.
one Belicheck acolyte that went on to succeed as a head coach. Even Charlie Weiss. Weiss got a shot. He failed. Patricia, failure. O'Brien, failure.
Yeah, I mean,
Right?
they all
None of
had,
them-
they had more success in college than the NFL. And
McDaniels,
and even that doesn't include Saban, who, I mean, is connected to Belichick. He's not part of his tree because he wasn't.
well, I would mean like Saban and Belichick came up together. So, and yeah, Belichick gave him a job at one point, but I feel like Saban was more of Bill's contemporary.
Right.
You know? Because that was his bestie.
Yeah.
Versus these other guys who've just been coordinators for him over the different years.
Right. The coordinators have not had good success.
But and McDaniels was spectacular failure, but so was Patricia actually.
Patricia failed. I mean, yeah, I guess Romeo Crennel was okay. He had a couple good seasons and
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Weiss and Cornell did okay, but not good enough to keep their job, and they never got a shot again.
I mean, none of them went on to be 10-decade coaches or anything
No,
like that.
none of them became Mike Tomlin or John Harbaugh or
Yeah.
McVay.
I mean, a good number of them just went back to Belichick.
No, that's exactly it. Like the only place they were able to thrive was under Belichick. I think my point is where I'm going with this is my whole theory on the Patriots and the Patriots culture that was forged. That culture was built upon a culture of brutal criticism. And you had to have those veteran players willing to take that brutal criticism, aka Bruschi and McGinnis and eventually Tom Brady, and these guys were willing to take whatever Bill would dish. And so that sets a culture atmosphere where these coaches can just coach. But when you go start your own program and you have to forge that culture,
And you're starting with a losing
and you're not
team.
Bill Belichick.
Well, and the reason a team gets a new coach is because the team is bad.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
team's not winning. So,
Well, I mean, these coaches aren't Bill Belichick, so they can't come in there. Charlie Weiss, Patricia can't come in there and go at these veterans with Bill Belichick's brutalist approach. Like it works in New England.
Well,
It does not work
it
here.
works in New England because they were good. And all those guys who bought in just wanted to win. And whatever it took to win was okay with them.
Well, and it delivered results.
And it worked. Right. That's what I'm saying. It's because they won.
It wasn't just that the veteran teammates were willing to take the abuse, but it also was delivering results. But you got to have both of those. Like if the results aren't going there, I mean, that's what happened at the end with the Patriots, is now all of a sudden they weren't quite getting the results, and that's when the wheels came off.
Right.
And everybody goes, fuck you, I don't like this abuse, and we're not even winning. You know? Like, I don't need this shit, man. It was fine when we were lifting Lombardis, okay? I'll do that to lift a Lombardi. But once, you know, a couple seasons, like, not even really contending for a Lombardi, fuck you, I'm out of here, dude.
I mean, it kind of looks like last year Gerard Mayo went like a full 180 and went the whole other way with it, and that didn't work either. And I don't.
No, it's not going to. I mean, guys are going to be like, okay, I don't fucking hate coming to work now. But then again, is there accountability?
Yeah.
The accountability went out the window.
Right.
Daniel Popper wrote an article, came out with his top 10. He also did an interview on the Chargers Unleashed. Shout out to Chargers Unleashed. Great podcast. I love those guys. He got Popper on there. That rascal. Oh, dude, if I ever got to interview Popper, that would be like a dream of mine. You know what I mean?
Or be interviewed by Popper.
Like, well, no, that wouldn't happen. But like, having Popper on the show,
Yeah,
that'd be nuts.
it would.
That'd be nuts. That would be a surreal moment to me, because I think he's the best, by far the best beat writer and source of information for the Chargers. And Popper's only real criticism, you know, is the O-line situation. Did the Chargers do enough? His assessment, specific words, I have concerns that they didn't quite do enough. And that's my exact sentiment as well. Did they quite, did they quite do enough?
Yeah.
They did plenty everywhere else. Everywhere else, I'm like, great job, dude. Nice. But on the O-line, like, I don't know.
Yeah, I read the general, it was probably Popper's tidbit. I'm sure he was the one who contributed the Chargers piece. Yeah, the article in The Athletic about all of the teams off season, like rating everybody's off seasons.
Yeah.
And for the Chargers, it was they made the playoffs last year in Harbaugh's first season. You know, everybody feels like they're on the up and up. They're kind of past rebuilding. They're ready to compete, but are they really there? Are they any better than they were last year because they didn't really do that much in the off season, or are they still kind of closer to rebuilding than people want to believe? Obviously, as a fan, you want to think you're ready to make a playoff push.
Well, they did a shit ton everywhere else, but yeah.
Or is it more like we have the quarterback, we have a handful of young guys on the offensive line, you know, but the defense could use some more work, and the receivers could use some more work. So maybe they're still a year or two away.
Yeah, I mean,
but they have a really good base.
I still would have loved Loveland, you know? Or getting Mark Andrews.
Yeah.
Geez, if we had Mark Andrews and Gadsden, oh man, if we would have gotten like Mark Andrews and Loveland, holy hell, dude. Holy hell. Man. I like heated the oven way too much. Yeah. What could have been, but no, my chief concern is still kind of. I mean, this is where Popper, when he explains himself, it's the exact same thing I go. It's like my nightmare is like I see the same O-line we did last year starting. That's my nightmare. Zion at left guard, Bozeman at center, Trey Pipkins to Sawyer at right guard. Like, that's my nightmare. If that happens, it's my nightmare. That's my nightmare. I don't want to watch those games. Like, it's that bad. It's that bad. I'm just going to go be like watching the game like.
I mean, at this point, the other option is Zion at center and Pipkins and Sawyer at the guards, right? So it's not really much different anyway.
I mean, centers are underrated in my opinion, period. Big time. When the Chargers, the existing squad we had, when we had Corey Linsley and he was healthy, it was a completely different squad. Completely different.
Right.
Night and fucking day. They were a top squad with Linsley in there. Like, center's a big goddamn deal, man. A really big goddamn deal. So, and Popper does completely agree with my assessment that, you know, the Zion experiment has this potential for high upside.
Right. If it works, it'll be fantastic.
There's a high floor, high ceiling situation. Because here's the thing, it's not going to take much to elevate the floor above Bozeman, okay? I mean, that's the thing, like, nobody's really talking about, is like, it's not going to be hard to beat Bozeman. And the regime is going to give Bozeman a chance to keep his job. But it shouldn't be hard for Zion to beat Bozeman, theoretically. Should not be fucking hard for this dude. And Zion's trying to get his fucking payday, dude. The payday he's been waiting for his whole career. It's the free agency payday. That's what players dream of, is that big free agency, I'm worth something, pay me my fucking money contract.
Ugh.
And Zion is set up to do it. You know?
Right. It's now or never.
Now or never.
Otherwise, you're just going to take a measly $3 million.
If he has an elite season as a center, he is in the fucking driver's seat. The Chargers are going to hand him a fucking bag. Like a 5-year bag. A long-term bag. A big bag. Top of the market.
If they can afford it.
And the Chargers know it too. It's not that they're not aware of that. They're like, yeah, go do it. Do it. Do it.
Do it.
We got money. We got good cap space, dude. We can definitely pay you. And you know how we value O-line, but we demand elite. We hand the bag to elite O-line personnel. No problem here. Win it. Get yourself that bag, boy. So yeah, Zion was taking all the snaps. All the side work, just doing snap work by himself, all that's going to Zion. But Zion being the de facto Chargers center draft pick, to all the puzzlement of all Charger fans everywhere this draft, was like, okay, get that guy as our center.
Yeah.
Get that guy as our center. Every round, it's like, okay, Frazier's there. Okay. You know, like, Wilson. Tate.
Patriot.
Tate, yeah. Come on. Majors. It's got to be Majors. No. The only thing that explains that is that in the Chargers' mind, they had their draft pick in-house. And they plan to fully explore that.
We will see.
It goes back to the Bozeman point. Zion would have to completely shit the bed at center not to beat Bozeman. To be worse than Bozeman at center, you have to be a bad center to not beat him. You know what I mean?
Right. Practice squad guys.
So, should not be hard for Zion and his pedigree to do better. Should definitely be within that dude's capability. It's not crazy. It's not crazy talk here.
PFF released its top 25 under 25 players.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Joe Walt's on there?
Yeah, he's in there.
McConkey?
But you know who's not in there, which is
Who?
makes it lose a lot of cred?
It's just some bullshit? Who? Gonzalez?
Gonzalez. Who?
What? He got snubbed?
Yeah.
Wow. That's a snub.
Yeah, it's a big snub.
It's a pretty big snub.
I mean,
Was Gonzalez hurt?
he was hurt his rookie year, so this is his third year coming in now.
But he was fine last year.
He played a full season last year. He didn't have a lot of picks. He only had like 3 picks, but it's because they just didn't throw.
They don't throw to him, yeah.
Like because the Patriots
teams are done throwing to that guy.
And the rest of the team by mid-season was so injured that
there's too many other people to pick on.
Yeah, the rest of the team was just bad, so they just didn't.
So you're going to pick on those guys.
But this year, hopefully, with with the defense rebuilt, like they're not going to have that choice, and he's going to end up being. I mean, he's got all pro written all over him. There was an interview with Jamar Chase. Devin McCourty interviewed him at some point and asked him who his least favorite, who the hardest corner that he had to face was.
Oh, he said Gonzalez?
No, he didn't say Gonzalez.
Okay.
He said, what's his name? The guy the Patriots just signed in the free agent. Carlton Davis.
Oh, he was like, yeah, that guy's a mother trucker.
Yeah, well, he's a bigger corner, which probably,
Yeah, and Jamar's the kind of guy that can usually like manhandle a dude.
Yeah, so now he's going to be playing opposite Gonzalez. So
Gonzalez, we'll see. We're going to see what Gonzalez is made of.
Yeah. Well, it's all signs point to Gonzalez having a massive season at that point. Like,
yeah.
probably wrap it up. Just drag it on.
Yeah, we can wrap it up in a minute. The guilty as charged guys last night were making bold predictions.
Yeah.
Shout out to Guilty as Charged. Fantastic podcast. Always bringing the dope. The dope stuff. So they did a bold predictions podcast. And they see Thule Tuipulotu making another step, asserting himself as maybe the best edge rusher on the Chargers, because you can make this argument Mac maybe takes a small step back.
At some point, Max.
At some point, he makes a step back. Not a big one, but a small step. And if Thule takes kind of maybe a substantial step forward, he's going to compete.
I mean, he needs to, without.
Well,
Bosa.
I mean, the biggest thing when it comes to Thule is Thule was essentially starting most of the season with Bosa hurt.
Right.
But he also was on field for something like 75% of all or 80% of all the special team snaps. So Thule had a snap count. Max Crosby had the most snaps of any edge defender in the league at edge. He doesn't come off the field.
Right.
Which he's notorious for.
That dude is a freak.
Yeah. Which he's notorious for. That's kind of his thing.
Yeah.
Bang for buck, you get a lot of bang out of that guy, dude. He's in there all downs. And he's fierce all downs. But Thule had a comparable snap count, including his special teams. He had 1,000-something snaps. He has many snaps as Crosby. It was like something like 1,200 snaps. Like you're not off the field, you know?
Yeah, that's impressive.
Now
that he is like going into the spring, the starter.
Now that he's the number 2 bona fide starter, he's not going to be on special teams.
Not going to be on special teams.
Yeah. So there's a strong case to be made. Tuli's going to have a lot more pep in his step. Not that he wasn't trying before, but when you get dedicated snaps to a position, like... Because they drafted that guy, Kyle Kennard. So Kennard's going to have to step into Tuli's shoes on special teams. It's a much healthier situation for Tuli.
Nice.
So his performance should go up substantially. What else was a bold prediction? Derwin James said Khalil Mack could play another 5 years. Yeah, everybody was like, I don't know about that, but I mean, if anybody could do it, it'd be Khalil Mack. Like he's definitely bucking. He's proving to be the Tom Brady of defense.
Tom Brady of defense.
Yeah, certainly making a case for it. Kind of one of the biggest things here too is like, so when Khalil Mack goes to the Hall of Fame, what is he remembered as? Is he remembered as a Raider, a Bear, or a Charger? Because he's been with all 5 clubs for 4 to 5 years apiece. Now, when he was with the Raiders is when he won all his accolades.
Right.
Defensive Player of the Year twice, All-Pro, you name it. He got every accolade there was when he came into the league his first 5 years. And then now as a Charger, he's not quite getting those accolades, but he is statistically like a top 3 performer the last 2 years. You know? He's been the quiet.
I feel like, I mean,
Deliver.
it might just be me being in Southern California and hearing more about the Chargers. I feel like, yeah, he made his name on the Raiders and as a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, as a Hall of Famer, as a Raider.
And then he went to the Bears and he was so good as a Raider that there was the regression on the Bears and people kind of forgot.
He got injured.
Forgot about him.
He had 2 or 3 seasons. He came in hot. I think he had like 2 healthy seasons as a Bear, was doing his thing, and then he got injured for like 2 or 3 seasons.
And now that he's on the Chargers, like, he's back.
He's been healthy again, and he's been back. If the Chargers win a Super Bowl,
Which they won't.
then he retires as a Charger, I think. You know, he goes in the Hall of Fame as a Charger.
Well, then, yeah, that's the ring he's got. Because he certainly never had a ring.
People don't talk about how critical that guy is to the team culture.
Yeah.
He is a linchpin on the culture. Absolute linchpin. Like Derwin James level, like Herbert level linchpin. Everybody in the building's like, dude, Khalil. K-Mac, dude. So buy more Khalil Mack jerseys, people. Come on. There should be definitely more Mack jerseys out there. I'll say that is an accurate statement.
I mean, he might be on the path to be a coach. Like kind of right as he retires. just
There's
go into
pitifully few Khalil Mack jerseys out there.
coaching. I know.
It's sad considering the kind of contribution he makes to the team actually, and has been making to the team.
Through multiple
Yeah.
coaching regimes.
Yeah, through numerous coaching regimes at this point.
I mean, when you're such a locker room guy and obviously a freak talent,
Yeah,
he should be.
Time to buy in.
He should become a coach
time to buy in.
when he retires. Keep coaching the young guys.
Oh, that wouldn't surprise me if
And then
he's.
it'll be which team does he coach?
That wouldn't surprise me if he wound up being a coach.
How much does he like Harbaugh?
Harbaugh loves doing that. Like, hey, no, man, you ain't playing anymore, but you staying in the building.
Yeah.
Like, that wouldn't shock me at all. What do you want to get paid? We will pay you. Just be in here and work out with us and coach.
Yeah. I mean, the Patriots did that with linebackers
Yeah.
forever. Hightower, Mayo,
Yeah.
Vrabel.
Just never leave the building, dude. All right, we'll cut it out on that. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. As always, like and subscribe. We'll see you on Monday.
Bye.